So, it's been a while since I've recorded one of these. I've got 30 questions. That is not 30, but I've got 30 questions. This is stuff that I've collected starting, September 5th, 2021, all the way up until, November 24th, 2021. Alright? So let's get going. Let's get right into it. Alright, so first question. Why would I want to chat with somebody that doesn't respect me? Every person, and I'm not saying anything bad about people from Nigeria, I'm saying every person so far that's called me has called me in the middle of the night to ask for money after I have specified to them multiple times that I don't have money to give them. So why would I want to... It's not the people from Nigeria that I have a problem with, it's the people that don't respect my time and my space, especially when I say don't call me in the middle of the night, don't call me asking for money, don't call me asking for relationships. That's three things that I ask. And so far, not all people from Nigeria are like this, but so far, all the people who have called me from Nigeria, or claiming they're from Nigeria, have broken at least two of those rules. So why would I want to chat with somebody who doesn't listen to the rules I set forth for them to follow? Make sense? Alright. Other than what I've said in that comment, response, I don't know what else to say. But I'm going to clarify. I am not now, nor have I ever been racist. I have banned people off of my YouTube channel and off of my Discord, and I have blocked people on Twitter and all that stuff because of, like, false accusations, because of lack of listening, regardless of what they were talking about. If I were, I wouldn't even be talking with my family. I may not show them in my videos, but I still at least communicate with my family. And my family wouldn't communicate with me if that accusation had any credibility behind it. My friends wouldn't be my friends if that accusation had any credibility. So yeah, like I said, I've blocked people for being stupid. This is an example of that. Now, reading into this next question, this next question here, the best job to get if you don't have an experience or an education. It all depends on a lot of things. Are you willing to go to school? Are you willing to work your ass off? Regardless of whether you have the experience or not, you gotta work your ass off. For somebody, and granted, this isn't saying necessarily that, you know, the person asking... You know, as far as I know, the person asking may or may not have an education. I don't know. I didn't ask into it. But for the people out there who don't have experience or an education, warehouse jobs are probably going to be the most money, and a lot of them do wind up doing full-time living wage with, depending on the company, you can even get mandatory overtime for like 1 or 2 days a week minimum. There's a lot of them out there where it's like warehouse jobs even include like assembly jobs and stuff like that, where you're not necessarily lifting like heavy stuff, but you're still, you know, working with your hands and all that stuff. So most of the time though, with those like what I'm calling warehouse jobs, you need to have common sense. You need to be able to add and subtract like a quarter plus a dime or whatever. You need to be able to add and subtract decimal points. So, common sense and being able to work with your hands are necessary for most jobs like that, regardless of whether it's, like, warehouse jobs, construction, retail, even. So, the only difference is with the retail, you need to be able to have social interaction type of stuff. You need to be able to... You need to be able to express yourself and express what the company wants you to express. With retail, with everything else you just need to be able to do what the company wants you to do. So. Alright, so first off with that, we are, that last question with the job and then this question with the strongest monster are now on my Discord questions. So everything from here out it's going to be Discord stuff.
Nope.
But strongest monster? We're trying to think. There is a certain one that I'm thinking of. It is oh wow. Oh, it is called the cockatrice. That's the one I was thinking of. So, yeah, that is the strongest monster. So this kind of snuck in there. Apparently this is off of my Facebook page. This question. I'm just, in order to answer the question, this, it's probably going to be best if I, go through and, cover everything with, basically with specific cards. So, if you guys didn't read through it, the first part of the question is, the difference between commons, uncommons, rares, all that stuff. Most of the cards I have here are commons. Just because they're commons, there's, so many of them, and they're super easy to find, obviously. And then uncommons are a little bit less common, and I'll kind of show you. But anyway, right above my finger there is the little icon, that set symbol. A black set symbol like that is common. And then, I'll try and find an uncommon one. Oh, here we go. That'll help me out. Anyway, let's see here. There's one set symbol where the common cards don't have a black set symbol instead. It's Dominaria. Otherwise, here we go. I don't know if you can tell. Silver or gray or whatever that is uncommon. And then there's gold, which is rare. I haven't found any rare cards yet. But then I did also find this. It's in a sleeve right now. I don't want to take it out, but that set symbol, if you can see it, is red. That's ultra rare. It's just, usually those are the most expensive cards. Usually they're the best for decks, if you can get them to work with a few other things. Chances are you're going to need a mixture of all of those, common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare. But for the most part, it doesn't really. I've seen decks where they've used all common cards. I've seen decks where they've used all ultra rare cards. But basically the common, uncommon, rare, and ultra rare cards, if you look at the set symbol, it's black is common, usually. Silver, gray, or whatever it is uncommon. Rare is gold. And then ultra rare is red. And then, for the different generations of Magic, chances are, if we're looking at the different sets, let's see here, Magic has been around for, 25 years? Starting with, Alpha and Beta. Let me look it up here. Here we go. Set list order, every Magic the Gathering set in order. 30-year history. As of 21, there have been over 100 Magic sets released in the trading card game. So it says here, starting in 1993, so that's what, 93, 2003, 2013, almost 30 years, 28 years. Alpha was released, Alpha and Beta, and then Unlimited Edition and Arabian Nights were all released in 1993. Beyond that, there's, a bunch of different ways to play. One of the different ways of playing is basically just reliant on the last 5 sets. So as of when I'm recording this, it'll be Innistrad Crimson Vow, Innistrad Midnight Hunt, Adventures into the Forgotten Realms, Modern Horizons 2, and Strixhaven School of Mages. I believe. Otherwise, if it's not those, then it also includes like either Time Spiral Remastered or Kaldheim and Kaladesh Remastered. One of those may or may not be included. So that's one different way of playing, is just those sets. And then other than that, there's one of them where it doesn't matter what set it's from, and then another one where it doesn't matter what set it's from, but you can only have one copy of the card, and then another one where it's like you can only have commons, and you can only have one of each common card in there, and blah 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 blah. There's way too many different ways to play for me to go over that in this video. But basically, when it comes to playing those, though, it's pretty much the same steps to go through. You just need to read the cards and see what they do, pretty much. Going back to all of these cards that I was going through, with this, it's a creature. It'll do something different than like an enchantment, which is this card. Even then, this creature is going to do something different than that creature, or even one of those creatures. It all depends on what the card says, and all that stuff. And the tricky part is, you gotta do everything the way it's worded. You gotta figure out how it's worded and go off of exactly how it's worded. That's the part that gets a lot of people. So yeah, that was kind of a long answer, but oh, another question off of my YouTube videos that I completely forgot I included in here. I'm just going to keep this one brief, you know, kind of brush over it for those of you who don't know. There's a whole playlist labeled Dog Boy on my vlogging channel. But long story short, this guy's been bothering me off and on, and he's been making threats against me, he's been making threats against my friends, he's been making threats against my family, my friends' families, all that stuff. And now he thinks that because I have a video that I showed in my vlogs of him getting into my face and backing down once he gets confronted about it, because I started recording as soon as he got off the bus, and he started getting all confrontational about it after following me off the bus, and he wound up getting his ass beat. So he's trying to use that as evidence against me. So, yeah. Another question from this person. Going off of what I just explained in the last video, I'm going to have to say no, we cannot chat respectfully, because you ruined that, frankly. If you're watching this, you ruined it. This one was on another one of my videos that I uploaded. Again, as I said before, he's the one that's instigating stuff. So, hopefully this just covers everything. Everything got taken care of on my end. I'm assuming nothing happened on his end other than maybe a busted lip or something. But, we'll see. Alright, Bill, I am, at the time I'm recording this, I am 33. I turned 34 in July of 2022. Alright, how do I explain this? We got disconnected on Facebook and Messenger because I live in a sober house. I told you I live in a sober house, and you showed up at my place of residence drunk in the middle of the night after waking me up, almost getting me kicked out of my place of residence because you can't control drinking. You're a nice person when you're not drunk and disrespectful. Alright. How has my life changed since lockdown? I'm just going to say that. How has my life changed since lockdown? Well, I guess really the only way it changed is it kind of ruined me being able to go see my family. Other than that, other people's stupidity did kind of ruin everything for me with going grocery shopping, but everything's starting to open back up now. Everything's starting to get worse because people aren't wearing masks and people aren't getting their vaccines. This whole lockdown thing, what caused the lockdown last year could be, or what caused the lockdown in 2020, could be over right now if people would have worn their masks, stayed at home, and gotten vaccines. Alright, my favorite dishes to cook? Well, right now, it's mainly, like, pasta and seafood, basically. Right now I'm trying to work on, granted I haven't really been doing it as much as I want to in the past however long, but, I am trying to work on, making crock pot mac and cheese. Granted, you can make it in a regular pot if you have a big enough pot, but I'm trying to make crock pot mac and cheese. I'm just trying to figure out all the spices and different meats that I can put in there, like whether it's hot dogs or lunch meat or, you know, whatever. So I'm just trying to figure that out, trying to make everything, you know, how I like it, basically. Once I get that all worked out, I do plan on turning that into a video, basically showing you how I make it and all that stuff. But until then, if we exclude all the pasta stuff, hamburgers are another thing I like making. I've made sushi in the past. Granted, it wasn't the best sushi because I was trying to go off of memory, and well, let's just say my memory on how much stuff I need to use wasn't the best. So yeah. So like I was saying before, I'm in a sober house. I chose to come in here, you know, free choice. It was one of the first ones available. But long story short, I'm in here because, well, I do kind of have an issue with, you know, I'm not saying it's like a bad issue. It can kind of get in the way sometimes, but I do tend to throw back a couple too many beers or whatever every once in a while. I'm just trying to kind of just keep that in check, basically. Trying to basically just live the best I can without actually using that kind of stuff. Have I ever thought about moving to a different state? Yes, I have. Thought about it. But at this point, right now I'm just not ready. If I had the choice of moving, I'd probably move to, first choice, if I had the choice and money wasn't an issue, probably New York City would probably be my first, you know, in-country move, basically. But again, if there weren't any issues, like if money wasn't an issue, if you know, if the pandemic wasn't an issue, I'd probably also consider moving over to like UK area. But like I said, I'm just not ready to move. I'm trying to get myself all situated and stuff. So oh, Quester. Quester 45. I get where you're coming at. I hope I hope that I understand where you're coming from. But the media does declare who's president. First it goes through the voting process, and then depending on whether you believe all the different stuff, whatever's going around, there may be some outside involvement, either hiding extra ballots or adding extra ballots or whatever, depending on what you believe in. I'm not saying what I believe here, but at that point the media does declare who's president after it goes through all of that. So yeah, media does declare who's president, buddy. I do remember this comment on my video. You're single. I'm Corum. But like I said before, I'm not on social media to look for relationships. You can go somewhere else with that. If I wanted a relationship from social media, I'd download a dating app. Somebody would thumbs down this if they don't like it. I'm just showing my life. Sometimes I edit it more than others, but I'm just showing my life. So, yeah, sometimes you get what I'm saying, right? Alright, Hooch, to answer your question, yes I have. It's been so long I can't remember what the circumstances were. Chances are it was like a what would happen if I did this kind of deal. Chances are it would be like that. But like I said, it's been so long since I don't know what made me think that. My favorite mythological creature is... I am having trouble deciding. Actually, let me see here. So, if cryptids are part of the whole mythological creature genre, probably either the Minnesota Dogman or the Wendigo would probably be my first two choices. Otherwise, probably a basilisk would probably be my choice of non-cryptid mythological creature. Maybe a banshee or a minotaur. Somehow I missed this question. The question is, what is my favorite type of wood for woodworking? I haven't really done too much in the ways of like woodworking. I do know a little bit about woodworking and stuff, but I don't really have a favorite at this point. I know it's not really the best answer, but if I had more of an opportunity to work with more stuff when it comes to woodworking, I'd probably have a favorite, but I don't. Favorite holiday? Of the ones that I actively celebrate, to toss up between Thanksgiving and Halloween. Thanksgiving for two reasons, because you get to spend time with family and there's a lot of food. Halloween, you get to dress up. There's a whole backstory with like going back to like pagan Europe and everything. There's this whole backstory of what Halloween is and what Halloween used to be. And then candy. But of course, you know, for me being a diabetic, that candy isn't, well, granted candy's not the healthiest for anybody, but I have to be extra cautious. To be honest, Hooch, I do not know how I should answer this question. If you're saying this, maybe you could go into a little bit more detail, maybe elaborate a little bit. Would I rather be an Egyptian pharaoh or a Roman emperor? Tough choice. I would probably have to say Egyptian pharaoh. I know a little bit more about like Roman mythology and stuff like that, but beyond that, just based off of what I know, probably the Egyptian pharaoh would probably be my first choice if I had to be, you know, one of those two. When it comes to my favorite book, I've got it narrowed down to three, but as of right now, I haven't done as much reading as I would like to. I've just kind of been all over doing a bunch of other stuff. But out of what I've read, I've got it narrowed down to one of three for my favorites. I've got The Riddler's Gambit, which is a prequel book to Batman Arkham Knight. It's all dusty, because it's been sitting on my shelf for, geez, it's been 3 years since I moved in here, and that's been sitting on the shelf since then. But that Batman Riddler's Gambit, iRobot, and this is actually the regular Isaac Asimov version of it, not the novelization of the movie. And then, the only autobiography that I've actually read and kind of remember, Corey Taylor's Seven Deadly Sins. I've got the favorite books narrowed down to one of those three, but like I said, beyond that, I don't know. Greatest skill? What is this, a job interview? I would have to say my greatest skill would probably have to be annoying the hell out of people. Beyond that, I would probably have to say being able to figure out how to get things, you know, basically tinkering with stuff. And I've picked up on a few different things right out, like, without any effort, basically. Another thing I'm kind of good at is, like, construction, like, building stuff, so. If I could get away with any crime, what would it be? Geez, we'd go from, would I kill somebody or have I thought of killing somebody up to, getting away with any crime. Would I have to narrow it down to just one, is my question? If we are talking about crimes in the U.S., let's see here. U.S. crimes. Oh yeah, I forgot about this crime. Aiming a laser pointer at an aircraft. So probably that, or maybe extortion or forgery or something. One of those three. Let's see. Which McDonald's food item should make a comeback? I am debating between their all-day breakfast sandwich and the bagel sandwiches that they had, and the chicken tenders. I love those. If I found a wallet by the side of the road with $100 in it, would I try and return it? Well, I definitely would try and return the wallet, and I would at least make the, or at least I'm going to say that I'm going to at least make the attempt to return the $100. But whether or not I'd actually do it, I don't know, because I've never been put in that situation. How about if it had $1,000 in it? Again, I don't know. I've never been put in that situation, but I'd like to think that I'd try and return it. So if I could get away with killing anybody, this is going back to what I was saying before. I think I had a question earlier about something similar. But if I could get away with killing anyone, who would it be and why? Like, scot-free, killing anyone any way I choose? It's a tough one. I've never really thought about it. What is his name? Charles Manson. It's just the first name that came to my head. I don't really have any other reason why I would kill somebody, but at this point, I mean, I'll try and think about it for in the future and everything. Because that is a good, kind of weird question, but still kind of a good one to think about. Let's see here. Crimes that should be legal? Well, picketing or parading is one that's should be legal in the U.S. Private correspondence with foreign government. Like, I think I know what that's supposed to be, but, like, wouldn't you need to have some sort of private correspondence with a foreign government in order to get, like, a visa or something to be able to go into the other country? Is kind of what I'd consider to be legal, if I had to choose something to be legal. Otherwise, should certain groups have more leeway with the law than others? Hell no. I mean, that's kind of what got us into the whole situation with, well, I'm just going to say what got us into the situation with the cops. That's one example of having one group have more leeway with the law than others. Another group that has more leeway is like politicians. I don't know. Anyway. That is the last question in this video. If you guys have any other questions, there's several different ways you can leave me a question. Down below in the comments section, I'll get those right away. I'll screenshot those. Otherwise, down below I've got Facebook, I've got my Discord, I've got a few other different social media links You can leave me a question on any one of those sites, and I'll get to it. Just make sure you at me on, well, you don't need to at me on Discord, but like if it's like Twitter or Instagram or something, make sure you at me in your questions. Otherwise, if you guys made it this far, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell notification, all the stuff. I do look forward to seeing you in the next video.